Yeah. Reading from Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta from Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Swāmī Maharaj and the perverts of Om Vishnupad Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And we are at Ādi-līlā chapter 14, text 30. Astonished that the child was speaking Mayavadi philosophy, Mother Sachi replied, "Who has taught you this philosophical speculation that justifies eating dirt?" Replying to the Mayavadi idea of the child philosopher, Mother Sachi said, "My dear boy, if we eat earth transformed into grains, our body is nourished and it becomes strong. But if we eat dirt in its crude state, the body becomes diseased instead of nourished, and thus it is destroyed. In a water pot, which is a transformation of dirt, I can bring water very easily. But if I poured water on a lump of dirt, the lump would soak up the water, and my labor would be useless." The Lord replied to his mother, "Why did you conceal self-realization by not teaching me this practical philosophy in the beginning? Now that I can understand this philosophy, no more shall I eat dirt. Whenever I am hungry, I shall suck your breast and drink your breast milk." After saying this, the Lord, smiling slightly, climbed on the lap of his mother and sucked her breast. Thus, on the various excuses, the Lord exhibited his opulences as much as possible in his childhood, and later, after exhibiting such opulences, he hid himself. On one occasion, the Lord ate the foodstuffs of a Brahmana guest 3 times, and later, in confidence, the Lord delivered that Brahmana from material engagement. In his childhood, the Lord was taken away by 2 thieves outside his home. The Lord, however, got up on the shoulders of the thieves, and while they were thinking they were safely carrying the child to rob his ornaments, the Lord misled them, and thus, instead of going to their own home, the thieves came back to the home of Jagannath Mishra. Pretending to be sick, the Lord asked some foodstuffs from the house of Hiranya and Jagadish on the day of Ekadasi. As usual for small children, he learned to play, and with his playmates he went to the houses of neighboring friends, stealing their eatables and eating them. Sometimes the children fought amongst each other. All the children lodged complaints with Sachi Mata about the Lord's fighting with them and stealing from the neighbors' houses. Therefore, sometimes she used to chastise or rebuke her son. Sachi Mata said, "Why do you steal other things? Why do you beat the other children? And why do you go inside others' houses? What do you not have in your own house?" Thus rebuked by his mother, the Lord would go in anger to a room and break all the pots within it. Then Sachi Mata would take her son on her lap and pacify him, and the Lord would be very much ashamed, admitting his own faults. Once the child, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, chastised his mother with his soft hand, and his mother falsely fainted. Seeing this, the Lord began to cry. The neighbor lady told him, "Dear child, please bring a coconut from somewhere, and then your mother will be cured." He then immediately went outside the house and brought 2 coconuts. All the ladies were astonished to see such wonderful activities. Sometimes the Lord, with other children, would go to take bath in the Ganges, and the neighboring girls would also come there to worship various demigods. When the girls, after bathing in the Ganges, engaged in worshipping the different demigods, the young Lord would come there and sit down among them. Addressing the girls, the Lord would say, "Worship me, and I shall give you good husbands or good benedictions. The Ganges and Goddess Durga are my maidservants, not to speak of other demigods. Even Lord Shiva is my servant." Without the permission of the girls, the Lord would take the sandalwood pulp and smear it on his own body, put the flower garlands on his neck, and snatch and eat all the offerings of sweetmeats, rice, and bananas. All the girls became very angry at the Lord for this behavior. "Dear Nimai," they told him, "you are just like our brother in our village relationship." Therefore, it does not behoove you to act like this. Don't take your paraphernalia for worship of the demigods. Don't create a disturbance in this way. The Lord replied, "My dear sisters, I give you the benediction that your husbands will be very handsome. They will be learned, clever, and young, and possess abundant wealth and rice. Not only that, but you will each have 7 sons, who will all live long lives and be very intelligent." Hearing this benediction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the girls were inwardly very happy. But externally, as it is unnatural for girls, they rebuked the Lord under the pretense of anger. The girls then brought the offerings before the Lord, who ate them all and blessed the girls to their satisfaction. With this cunning behavior of the Lord with the girls became known to the people in general. It did not create misunderstanding amongst them. Rather, they enjoyed happiness in these dealings. One day, a girl of the name Lakshmi, the daughter of Balabhacharya, came to the bank of the Ganges to take bath in the river and worship the demigods. Seeing Lakshmi Devi, the Lord became attached to her, and Lakshmi, upon seeing the Lord, felt great satisfaction within her mind. Their natural love for one another awakened, and although it was covered by childhood emotions, it became apparent that they were mutually attracted. They both enjoyed natural pleasure in seeing one another, and under the pretext of demigod worship, they manifested their feelings. The Lord told Lakshmi, "Just worship me, for I am the Supreme Lord. If you worship me, certainly you will get the benediction you desire." On hearing the order of the Supreme Lord, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lakshmi immediately worshipped him, offering sandalwood pulp and flowers for his body, garlanding him with malika flowers and offering prayers to the Lord. Being worshipped by Lakshmi, the Lord began to smile. He recited a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam and thus accepted the emotion she expressed. Purport. The verse quoted in this connection is the 25th verse of the 22nd chapter 10th canto. Srimad Bhagavatam. The gopis worshipped goddess Durga or Katyayani. But their inner desire was to get Lord Krishna as their husband. Krishna, as Paramatma, could realize the ardent desire of the gopis, and therefore he enjoyed the pastime of Vastraharana. When the gopis went to take bath in the river Jamuna, they left their garments on the land and dipped into the water completely naked. Taking this opportunity, Krishna stole all their garments. Jai Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Sundar Radha Giridhara Ki Jai. Taking this opportunity, Krishna stole all their garments and sat down in the top of a tree with them, desiring to see the girls naked, just to become their husband. The gopis desired to have Krishna as their husband, and since it's only before her husband that the woman can be naked to fulfill their desire, Lord Krishna accepted their prayers by his pastimes of stealing their garments, When the gopis received their garments back from Krishna, Krishna recited this verse: My dear gopis, I accept your desire to have me as your husband, and thus worship me. I wish your desire to be fulfilled, because it deserves to be so. After thus expressing their feelings to another, Lord Chaitanya and Lakshmi returned home. Who can understand the grave pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? So we stop here for today, reading from Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Ādi-līlā chapter 14, Lord Chaitanya's childhood pastimes. Jai Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swāmī Prabhupada Ki Jai. And then we're reading from In the Light of Loving Devotion, from talks from Srila Bhakti Rakha Dev Goswami Maharaj. We are at chapter 10, The Horizon of Infinity. To catch the moon. The devotee questioning. It says in the Shastra that by a moment's association with a pure devotee, one can attain all perfection. Srila Śrīdhar Maharaj, yes, but perfection in the infinite is a relative term. When Krishna is by the side of Radharani, he is Swayam Bhagavan, that is, the fullest Krishna, the most perfect Krishna. But when there is Prabhav, Vikash, and Prabhav, Vilas, Krishna of different types, different aspects. So there is gradation in Krishna also. What to speak of devotees and human beings? In everything, gradation is there. We are limited beings, so we are encouraged. Search, try to catch the infinite as much as you can. In this way, we are encouraged to see in the Acharya the highest teachership. But what is our capacity? We may try to our utmost to see in this way, but how much can we extend ourselves? Still we are encouraged. Whatever you can see, whatever you can conceive as the Absolute, go forward with this consciousness. When you will reach to that point, that you will find something more, and from there again go forward. Just as we may think the sun is very near, but if we begin our journey towards it, we will find, oh, I thought, I conceived that it was here, but there is more. I must go further, and again still further. It is like a child who wants to catch the moon. His father says, "The moon is nearby, I'm getting it for you." My boy, don't cry. In this way always the encouragement is given in our search. It is very near. Infinite horizons. The truth is given. It is revealed by installments. Just as in education, the fullest encouragement should be given to the child to finish his studies in his present school, and when he has done so, there is further education in the college. He is encouraged to collect all of his energy and to utilize it in his present point of progress, and then to go forward. And there is no end to his journey. Back to our Lord, back to home. At each stage of advancement, one will feel encouragement, but at the same time, as much progress as he makes, so much he will be desperate and feel disappointment. I'm not getting anything. It is so sweet, so sweet. I cannot taste even a drop. Mahaprabhu himself said to his devotees, "My dear friends, I have not the slightest scent of love of Godhead within my heart." As much as souls will advance, as much as they are conscious of the infinite, so much they think themselves as having some nothing. They think themselves infinitesimal. The infinite is so big. The more they make progress, the more they find it is further, it is more. Oh, the infinite, this is what it means. It is immense. I did not know that the infinite is so vast. It has no circumference. The center has no circumference, but it is everywhere. Devotee. So this process, it is going on eternally? Srila Śrīdhar Maharaj. Yes, it is always going on, but the infinite is the lake of nectar, ocean of nectar, and so, in relation to him, there is no possibility of any loss. There is no possibility of being a loser, that I will never be able to reach to the extremity, to the end of this, so I will be lost. No, because it is always more tasteful, more energy-giving, more hope-giving, and so encouraging. One cannot live without it. The soul feels he has not attained anything, but still he cannot stop his journey, and he is sure to go on, more and more. That is the nature of the path. Approval of the inner heart. The sweetness of this journey also is of infinite character. As much sweetness as the soul tastes, he wants more. In this way, everything, every aspect in relation to the infinite is infinite. That is Vaikuntha. Kuntha means limit, so Vaikuntha means limitless, unlimited. From the narrow, selfish conception of life, we are to merge into the wider conception of the universal flow. We may think that by doing so we will lose our position, but rather we are in the process of acquiring a higher position. So we must proceed in this way. We must go further, go higher. This means to surrender, to die to live. In this process we will feel that as much as we are eliminating, that we are losing our previous position, so much we are making progress. Progress means to always go forward, to move ahead. The higher taste is there, and we get more and more life. So we have to die to live. And death, so-called death, is encouraged by the gain of more vitality, more life. We can feel it. The more we die, the more we live. So we can not leave this campaign, cannot abandon it, because the taste, the inner feeling is there. In this way, all mundane attachments are naturally, gradually eliminated. The embodied being may renounce the sense objects, but the taste for them remains. But that too vanishes for the man of wisdom. In this way, the experience of higher taste, higher ecstasy, encourages us to go further. Devotion, direct experience of the Supreme Lord, and detachment from other things, these three occur simultaneously for one who has taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in the same way that pleasure, nourishment, and relief from hunger come simultaneously and increasingly with each bite for a person engaged in eating. Viraktir means abnegation, our devaluation of something and to leave it behind. And parisanubhavo means that in front of us, there is something of higher value and the conception of a higher gain through that. In other words, what we leave behind is of a lesser value, and what we gain that is more valuable. Bhakti parisanubhavo means progress and some experience of gain, to lose the present stale position and to gain what is better, new and encouraging, and to accept that. Progress means elimination and acceptance, acceptance of the higher and elimination of the lower, and we ourselves will stand as a witness and guarantee of that. Hridayena abhyanunyato, our heart's approval is there to give us guarantee. Go further. Okay, we stop here. Jai. In the light of loving devotion, the horizon of infinity, chapter 10, Ki Jai. Jai, Srila Bhakti Rakak, Śrīdhar Dev Swāmī Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai, Srila Om Vishnupat, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Swāmī Maharaj Ki Jai.
So today is the disappearance of Srila Haridas Thakur.
Jai, Srila Haridas Thakur. Virobhav Mahotsav Ki Jai.
Shall we sing 143?
Yeah. Cheyanilo Premadana Karuna Patu. Kamala Bhatayu
Swāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Jai. Shri Bhakti Śrīdhar Swāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Jai. Jai Thakur ki jai. Jai. Jai Shri Haridas Bhagavaji Mahārāja ki jai. Jai. Shri Sachi Devī Dāsī Shri Thakur ki jai. Jai. Shri Jagannath Bhagavaji Mahārāja ki jai. Jai. Jai Shri Bhakti ki jai. Shri Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Shri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swāmī Prabhupada ki jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava ki jai. Jai. Bhakti Bhushabhusana ki jai. Jai. Shri Vishwanath Chakrabarti Prabhu ki jai. Jai. Samananda Srinivasacharya Prabhu ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai. Jai. Das Kadaras ki jai. Jai. Shri Goswami Vrindavan ki jai. Jai. Sarvaswati Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Jai. Shri Madhava Prabhu ki jai. Shri Shivata Krishna Prabhu Prabhu Kumbhari Kumdevi Gauranga Prabhu ki jai. Shri Lakshmi Rama Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Jai. 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 All the devotees all over the world, ki jai. All the assembled devotees, ki jai. Try Haridas Sankirtan, ki jai. Try God, Premanandi. Sachi Devī Dāsī.